think I'm ready. Why am I sitting in front of this weird mirror and just staring at it? Looks like I'm thinking about something, or just getting bored, or pretending to be a weird artist. Maybe. Just thinking. Have you have you thought about when you're just sitting in front of your work and keep looking at it, then suddenly you go like, what am I doing here? Or is this truly what I want to express? Is it good enough? Should I keep going like this? You know, we just cannot stop questioning ourselves. I mean, I truly believe that I'm putting all my soul, energy, emotions, and stories. But sometimes, in a totally opposite way, like asking myself, what if I'm just forcing people? This is not a normal mirror, this is something else. So please look at it in a different way. So sometimes I'm thinking like, oh, maybe being an artist means just continue proving your work is not normal, but something else. I don't know. Do you think my mirrors are special? Do you think my mirror is something else? I mean, I am even using my artworks as just no mirror, just shaving, brushing teeth. I don't mind. Whoever owns my mirror and use it as just normal mirror, I think it's okay. I think because that's also part of my work. You're facing your reflection, but at the same time, like your eyes are following erased parts of your reflection and witnessing the fiction of scratches. But it is almost like the scratches are on your reflection on your body. So those elements make you getting close to the mirror and surround you as part of the work, as one of elements, like your reflection, the erased parts of you, the scratches on the mirror, environment, written words, and letters, light. So it is kind of on the boundary between your existing, but you're erased or scratched when you're standing in front of my mirror. And you're lively, observing scratches on my mirror with your reflection. I don't know. Of course, I didn't know that I'm gonna use mirrors for 5 years since then. But still, I feel like um, I haven't got the right answer. I need something like this is it. Probably you have similar feelings in your studio. No? Just me? Um, where should I start? I think every artist obsesses over something, right? In my case, I became obsessed with collecting poetry books since my mom taught me how to read uh, with her poetry books. Um, oh, my parents were working in bookstore company, and it was kind of me and my brother's playground. We used to go there to see my mom and dad, and just making small house with a bunch of books. That was we were like around 8 or 9 or something. Anyway, I was preparing my first show, and I really, wanted to mix my work with poems. And I was thinking this might be the last time to work as an artist and so I really wanted to express something about me, you know. So I went back to my poetry book collection and finally met this poem. So my mirror series was started from just one poem, this one, titled Confession, written by Dongju Yun. He was born and died during Japanese colonial time in Korea. He passed away in jail when he was only 27, 6 months before the independence of Korea. And then 3 years after he died, one of his friends collected his writings and published them as a book titled Sky, Wind, and Stars. And sorry, I became obsessed with one line from this poem. I'm just gonna read it out. Night after night, let me polish the mirror with the palm of my hand and the sole of my foot. So when he was facing his reflection, he felt he had to clean himself due to Japanese rules and pretending to agree with Japanese customs. He felt regret, sorrow, and guilt as a writer. In in his real life, the only thing he could do was just to write every night about his feelings and thoughts in Korean. Because during the daytime, he had to speak in Japanese, act like them, and study in Japanese. He had to hide his writings from Japanese soldiers. So he was almost like living two lives, you know? So every night, he feels like he needs to clean his mirror. He feels like he lied to himself. His reflection becomes confession to the mirror in this poem. And I felt a similar way, like I wanted to be cleaned or erased or disappear. Whenever I think back to that self-harming moment, when I was 18, I was trying to kill myself, but um, I was coward. So in that split second, I turned my arm and stepped it until I just blacked out. And I was found on the street by one of my close friends, and I woke up 3 days later in my friend's house. I was like all my feelings were burst and gone, you know? I was struggling. My grandmother had just passed away car accident. One of my friends jumped out of their apartment, suicide, because of his sexuality, and he had an argument with his mom, and she didn't agree with him, so he just jumped. And when I saw his twin brother in his funeral, it was a bit shocking, you know. Anyway, and I broke up with my first love. 5 years gone just like that, and I was preparing Korean SAT thing, which is a super competitive kind of national event thing in my country. It is ridiculous and stressful test. Anyway, it all happened in just 1 month, and I couldn't handle it. I was empty. Now it's more than 10 years old story. Maybe I was a bit of sensitive boy. That's what I think sometimes. But during my research for dissertation, what I realized is that since 2007, the number one cause of death between the ages of 8 to 24 is suicide in my country. And it peaked in 2009, the same year that I engaged in it. No disease, no car accident, just kill themselves. Still, South Korea is counted as the country with the highest suicide rates among OECD countries. No social safety net system, no preventing programs in schools, and so on. So, after opened up my personal story, I used to say to the viewers as an artist that I'm a sample of Korean who does self-harm. And yeah, and actually I learned a lot of stuff from that memory. After that summer night, whenever I saw my scars on my arm, I felt regret, shame, guilt, and sorry to my parents, friends, and my grandmother. I don't know. Maybe I'm still making scars, not on my body, but on my reflection in my mirrors. I was thinking about why I did not stop using mirrors, and I think the reason is I feel like I'm doing a meditation while sanding or scratching mirrors. As I mentioned a bit before, the actions are quite similar. Looks like I'm cleaning or wiping a table when I'm sanding or scratching my mirrors. And when I'm doing it repeatedly, then I'm finally kind of in my zone, in my zone, and just keep going like that. Check the front side and flip it over and start working again from the back side of the mirror. And this is what I really loved about. Sometimes even I'm confused that I'm cleaning this mirror or like sanding this mirror. It feels like I'm cleaning my reflection, but at the same time, it is like I'm hiding my scratches and scars behind this mirror with my personal experience and feelings live on in the mirror. Like, even if my cuts were healed, I can still see the scars and memories. Um, yeah, anyway, after all, I felt like something's released from my body. How can I say? Like crying enough, or like everything's out of my body, and we start to fill it in with something. Now I am more like thinking about the reason of existence when I'm working as an artist. I want to put more positive feelings and energy rather than negative stuff now. Sometimes it wants to say something to me, trying to make a conversation with me. But it keeps ignoring me time to time. Then I want to punch it. I think I still love to have that conversation with mirrors. Um, what do you see when you're facing your reflection? Do you think you're special? Do you think you're something else?